A beautiful morning. Welcome to Unity of Bellingham. Let's start our service today by singing two songs. They're in your bulletin. I'm Choosing Heaven Today and Holy, Holy, Holy. Let's stand and start with I'm Choosing Heaven Today.
Here we go.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. Sing wonder. I'm choosing wonder today. I'm choosing wonder today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing wonder today. Let's hear your joy. I'm choosing joy today. Oh, yeah. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. Good warm up. You sound good.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy.
Sing it again.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy.
Spirit divine.
Spirit divine, come unto me, feeling love, healing me, open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. We are holy, holy, holy.
Tell each other.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy.
Sing it again.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy.
Spirit divine.
Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me, open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love surrounding me.
I am holy, holy, holy. Claim it. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. One more time. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole.
Oh, let's hold that heart space that we were just in for just a moment. That was wonderful. Breathe that in for a second. We are holy, holy, holy. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest, pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us, the creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine, expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this in our companion Mother Earth and all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of the Christ presence, expressing in, as, and through us in this present, now moment. It is the truth. Let us own it. Good morning. Just, it's going. It's a new candle, so. Yeah. So welcome to Unity of Bellingham. I want to welcome you. My name's Shari Humes. I'm the service assistant this morning. I see some new faces, some friendly faces I haven't seen for a while. If you are new, or maybe you just haven't been here for a while, do you want to raise your hand and we can just say hello to you? Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hi, Candace. Saw that. Anyway, thank you for being here. It's going to be a wonderful morning. I think you'll enjoy very, very much. So with that, let's see. I want to introduce our music team. We have Cheryl and so that's wonderful. So, and Kate, I'm sorry, Kate, I'm looking right at you and I was thinking of Cheryl. So Kate is with us this morning too. Thank you. A gift of music indeed. So we're going to gather together and do our 5 principles now. So let's see. There we go. 5 principles. As you settle back into your seat and your space, feel the pure spirit of love move through you as we take these moments together. God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my one true nature. I am creating my experiences by how I think. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and am sustained by these values every way, every day. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
We gather together in prayer, in unity, as one heart and one mind of the truth that we all are of one divine. Wherever more than two are gathered, collective thought expands and is multiplied exponentially. Hear our prayer, dear Spirit Divine, that we each accept deeper peace, a thriving body, fuller prosperity of finances. And we accept a step forward toward a desired outcome rather than standing still, that we move forward in greater love, more laughter. We fill our hearts and minds with the fullness of love divine. We extend this goodness to those in our life that we want to support, that they also feel the fullness of thriving as they desire. If you have someone who you wish to call into this space, please say their name and know that they are held in love and light. I now invite you into a soft, easy transition into meditation. Breathe deeply and slowly for a few cycles. As you breathe, feel your shoulders drop, your body relax. It is empowering to know that divine intelligence, the presence, the power, and love of God is active in each of us. You can see that as we look into each other's eyes. You can feel that throughout your day. As we travel the twists and turns of life, a divine guidance is naturally active. You will recognize this guidance by how you feel. Breathe in. If you ask for guidance and it feels inspiring, exciting, deeply calming, you know that Source Divine is lighting your way. You will feel clarity and deep peace. Breathe in. You can practice confident living. This is living with intention, choosing to grow and learn and thrive. Life is always moving, changing, expanding. That's how we learn and we grow and evolve. In the next few minutes, as I play the sound bowls, use your imagination to feel possibilities beyond your current understanding, to feel feelings of inspiration, clarity that excite and inspire. Step into allowance. All things are possible when we ask and then allow. Spirit will illuminate all possibilities.
What happens to curiosity as we grow older? On average, most 4-year-olds ask 390 questions per day. Can you hear me okay? I can't hear me. Check 1, 2. Here we go. I embrace the questioning mind, and here are the answers I'm here to find. I welcome possibilities of the who, what, whens, and wheres I see. What do I want? What is my passion? What are my core beliefs? What do you want? What is your passion? How might our paths agree? Ooh, I embrace the questioning mind. Here are the answers I'm here to find. I welcome possibilities of the who, what, whens, and wheres I see. What do we want? What is our passion? Can we find equality? Can we be stable in an unstable world? What should our new pairs be? Ooh, we embrace the questioning mind. Here are the answers we're here to find. We welcome possibilities of the who, what, whens, and wheres we see. What do we want? What is our passion? Can we find equality? Can we be stable in an unstable world? What should our new prayers be? Ooh, we embrace the questioning mind. Here are the answers we're here to find. We welcome possibilities of the who, what, whens, and wheres we see.
Should we just have pie now and call it? Wow. Look at these wonderful faces. I'm Reverend Frank. I'm the minister here at Unity of Bellingham, which I mentioned because I see some people I don't know. And so welcome, or I haven't seen in a while. Welcome. And I wanted to start with, I was at Unity Convention not too long ago, and I got this wonderful flag. And I put it up today because, I don't know if you knew this, I saw in the news, even though Pride Month ended in June, typically it's Pride Month, today, Pride Bellingham, there's a parade from 11 to 1, but also Pride in Bellingham Festival is down at the Depot Market Square and at Railroad. You know where the Market Square is? So artisans, nonprofits, community businesses, all celebrating Pride. So I wanted to be sure. I would like to go down. But first, before I do that, we're also going to have Earth Care, where we're going to be working outside. I'm kind of getting my announcements in and the actual talk here, but there's a reason. So I love about this flag. And one of the pillars, there's 5 pillars right now we talk about in unity, and one of them is idea, inclusivity, diversity, equality, and accessibility. And I love the sense, we've been saying about imagination and how we can open up our sensibilities to how else can we be even fully more diverse and expand on equity and inclusivity. And and it's not just about that. It's not just about that, because the kernel beneath it all, what lies underneath it all is, and we've been singing, it's this sense of imagination, and the imagination of ourselves and in our culture. And what that is a turn in consciousness. It seems like I say that it is an advancement in consciousness, and that's really the essence of what I want to speak about today, is this sense of an awakened consciousness. And we talk about that, often and often. It's like this movement in life. And by the way, that's another pillar of the 5 pillars of unity, is evolution of our consciousness. How do we move on in mind, not only, physically moving on, and we see the world moves on, and we know evolutionary principles throughout the creative world, but how do we move on in our own consciousness? And I'm going to start and end, like I always do, bookend, that's how we're going to end. We're going to end this talk with talking about a whole new expansion of consciousness. So between now and then, we're going to get there. Yeah. But I want to talk about this sense, and when I look at that flag, what I love about it is, the explosion of color, the movement and the openness to all that is possible, and to this expansion of our awakened consciousness that includes new and deeper levels of compassion, and new and deeper levels of understanding, and new and deeper levels of maybe even sometimes on this journey, especially with LGBTQ movement, maybe a new understanding that pushes back on our own understanding of things when maybe people look at this and they're in the culture in a way that's what they might say the norm, not something that's a part of the movement that we can include into what's normal. And so there's this movement that kind of stretches us and pushes us. And what I want to say is that's a place that we go when we get stretched and we get pushed that we might call the wilderness. We're in a class right now, and thanks to Jana for leading this class. It's a book by Brene Brown called Braving the Wilderness. Moving into new areas. And the wilderness, the way Brene Brown, she doesn't exactly define it, which I love about this book. But we've been dealing into it and moving into, well, what's the wilderness? What is that area that just stepping out of our comfort zone? And this is a little, and stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit more, pushing through what we consider my safe, quiet space where everything's good and I've got total control, and stepping out into a place where maybe I don't have, or it doesn't seem like I'm as much in control, that I can be open to more of the interconnectedness with other people and with the world and with what's going on. And we might want to avoid that. We might go, well, you do your thing, I'll do mine, and we just won't need to talk. But what she says, no, we need to rub up against each other. We need to, one of the chapters is people are hard to hate from far away, or they're easy to hate far away. So move in, get close, rub up against other people, rub up against others' ideas. Try to and see that tension and move into that place so that our consciousness, we always talk expand our consciousness, and our consciousness can be expanded when we're rubbing against each other and each other's ideas and moving in a way that creates a level of fiction. And another pillar of unity, we say this over and over, the expansion of consciousness in our mind. And that's a kind of a key part of what I want to talk about. And how is this expansion in consciousness? Now, what are all the ways that can happen? One plug, too, I'm going to end on a little bit, if you've read this before. Carter Phipps, Evolutionaries, is a wonderful book that, it's been playing into things I've been saying for a while. But, sometimes it's like, that's nice, Reverend Frank. Where are you getting that? Well, Carter Phipps used to write for Evolutionary Magazine and Mindfulness Magazine. He's been an editor. Great book on evolutionaries. And what I want to suggest is all of us can be evolutionaries. And, on the path, on this spiritual path, and when you look at it, and he talks about it, and we see this, where is the idea of church going? And, we had this way of being that was traditional for a long time, and we've talked about this many times. We moved into the modern world and science. We moved to the postmodern world of sensitive hearts, but that isn't even the end of the journey. The end of the journey is being at the edge and being ready to evolve into yet the next phase. And you might think, well, the world's moving so fast now. Can't we just stop and take our breath? Yeah, it'd be nice, but that's not how it works. We're moving into the next stage, and life itself, evolution itself is saying, we live in a climate-changed world. I was reading this thing where if you get to outside at about 115 degrees, the protein molecules in your body start getting affected, and people walk a few blocks out in 115-degree weather, and, they start, it become a medical crisis for some people. And yet in Phoenix right now, it's going to be 108 and 115 for the next week. The world there's energy in the world. The world is a climate change place. These are the things that are facing us, and we can go, we don't, then we go back, we want to be safe, or we can move into the wilderness and deal with the issues of our day and deal with each other and find ways forward. And all these things are happening. The green movement, the energy of a climate change world, the LGBTQ movement. These aren't just disconnected things. There's an energy that's saying, let's move. Let's go forward. Guess who showed up on the planet Earth now when all this was happening? It's us. Welcome to the party. That's not a coincidence. We're here on purpose. And it's funny, there's a little bit of foreshadowing of this principle that happens. And I want to share a piece from the Gospel of Matthew. And it's a fascinating place. And I showed you last week that Unity now, Mark Hicks and his group in Truth Unity published a new study Bible. And it's the Fillmore Study Bible. I have to share this with you. And it goes, and it renames all the chapters. When they wrote this, and you look at Scripture, there's always there's these titles of the sections, right? Well, they didn't write those titles. That's what people came in later and wrote the titles and kind of broke them up and wrote these titles. Well, in the Fillmore Study Bible, the titles are totally different. And this particular section in the Gospel of Matthew, what the way in the study Bible named it was, instead of the coming of the Son of Man, it said the coming of new levels of consciousness. What a difference, right? So there's a story that goes like this. I'm going to tell you a couple words so you know. Sometimes you see Jesus referred to himself as Son of Man. In some translations, you can think of it as Son of Adam, or the way I might say it is a child of the divine, the child of humanity. So Jesus says, about that time and the hour, because people are asking, when's the end of times coming? And he kind of does this shuffle away from that question, like there's going to be this cosmic event that's going to end the world in some ways. And there's a whole nother way that this master teacher, this mystic rabbi from Nazareth talked about it. The way Jesus said is, about that day and hour, well, nobody knows. Not angels and not the Son, but only the Father. For as the days of Noah were, so will be coming of the child of humanity. By the way, who's the child of humanity? Who's the son of Adam? Yeah, it's us. It's when the divine presence comes alive in, as, and through us. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing until the flood came and swept them all away. And so too will be the coming of this child of humanity. Here's how our consciousness gets risen. Then two will be in the field. One is taken and one is left. 2 women will be grinding meal together. One is taking and one will be left. And keep awake, therefore, because you don't know on what day the master's coming. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have left his house be broken into. So this is a great part. Let me read this again. Understand this. If the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let the house be broken into. I mean, I think that's really interesting that in the scripture they compare the coming of the divine to a thief coming in the night. It's kind of an odd way of talking about this spiritual energy. And he says, therefore, you must also be ready for the child of Adam, for this very essence, this child of God energy is coming at an hour you don't expect. So you got to watch out for the thief. Don't get caught unawares, like you have no idea what's going on. That wouldn't happen to me. So just a couple things about this verse. It says it's going to be like Noah at the time of the flood when Noah went into the ark. Well, this is a huge story, but let me just touch base on that just for a second. Noah, metaphysically, the word comes from a Hebrew word that means rest. Rest. And so everybody was busy. They said married and getting married, going to work, doing this, that, and the other thing. But what happened to Noah, and water always has this sense of it could be positive, but usually in Scripture, the metaphysical idea of water is it's sort of destructive. It comes rumbling down at you. It's powerful. It can knock you over. And it might have a positive final effect, but in its energy, it's destructive. It rolls things over. And this just wasn't a little stream of water. This was a flood. So when the flood comes, when very difficult times of life come, when the biggest challenges of our life, the things that shake us to the ground, Noah rode the ark and weathered the storm, which means the thing that got us through the storm was this Noah energy, which Noah energy of us is that restful part of us. It's that part that goes to silence. It's that part that stands apart. It's that of us, that Noah of us, that knows how to, in the middle of it all, not get caught up in the drama on the human level, but to be sure to keep connected to the truth of our spiritual nature and can have a sense of peace and harmony and rest despite all the flooding and the craziness and the climate change and the energy and the politics and everything goes on centered in this restful place. This is how the consciousness comes. Through practice, through rest, through equipoise, through getting centered. And then when the floods come, and they come. They always come. We can go to that place of rest and then rise above it and find a time until that energy is complete, until the Spirit tells us it's now safe to move and come out and now be present to the world in a way that's generative. And not only generative, it wasn't only that Noah went with the animals, and there's this sense of generating new creatures and new ideas. I mean, the animals are all like different ideas. He goes into this place with, here's my imagination, 2 by 2, all these possibilities, all these ideas, all these potentialities come with me. Then they generate something new, and it starts all over. But it's not only generation, it's like a regeneration. And in the end, in the ark, we regenerate. We show up, still us, but now on the other side of things, so that we're regenerating our life in a powerful new way. And that happens by going into the flood, by going into the storm, by riding the ark, by going to the wilderness, by being willing to say, Noah got centered. He got his sense of rest. He got his place in meditation. He knew the silence. And then he went into the storm and rode above it. Not ignoring it, riding it out and being in it. And I think that's a lot of what Brene Brown's talking about over and over. Go to the wilderness, brave it, It's not about just hiding out. It's by getting centered and then moving into this evolutionary impulse that is the word. We need to be evolutionaries. And evolution means there's friction and there's grist, and we can go into it from a place of Noah energy and the rest, and then we go out. And then he goes on and he says, and this is what happens. The flood came, and then there's people in the field, and one's ready, and sometimes things come and we're not ready, and we don't move. We don't move into that next level of consciousness because maybe we weren't ready. And two women they're grinding meal together. One's taken, one's left. Keep awake. You don't know the time. Be ready. So when the opportunities happen, we can step into the wilderness and our own consciousness can evolve and change. And there's this wonderful thing. If the owner of the house knew the time the thief was coming, they would have stayed awake. So it's kind of like, are you saying this coming of divine consciousness is like a thief? You see, the Gospels are funny this way. They totally turn things on their head. You almost read this and say, oh yeah, we got to be awake. Don't let that thief come in. But that's not what it's saying. It says, yeah, the thief is going to come in. Greet that energy. It's going to sneak in when you least expect it. Are you ready? It's kind of funny because in some ways, he's comparing this coming of divine consciousness to a thief in the night. And you read that and go, well, that's a bad thing. No. It's coming. And when the thief in the night comes, you don't just turn your back, you go, hi, what do you have for me? What gift do you bring? The thief in the night comes and brings a new gift. Thank you, thief. I'm glad I could greet you. We don't want to, this stuff's going to come. We just need to turn and greet it, as opposed to saying, oh no, something that's tension, something that's going to challenge me, something that's going to be difficult, something that going to just be in avoidance, and yet this grist for the mill, this new awakened consciousness comes. And another thing about it, this going into the wilderness, it's not typically a thing we do on our own. There's a communal component to it most all the time. Maybe I can't think of a time not, but we'll do an exercise, and I'll show you what I mean. So the times when we're challenged and something new and consciousness moves, not only our consciousness, but we're on a journey where we feel the moving consciousness of our communities and our friends. When really tense time comes. Brene Brown talks in there where she was driving down the road, and all of a sudden she saw people's lights come on their car, and they started pulling over to the side. And she's like, well, this is weird. But everybody's having car problems at the same time, and they're pulling over, and she didn't know. So she slowed down, and there's a car on the side, and she looks over, and she looks in the window, and there's a guy. He just got his head on the steering wheel, and he looks like he's crying. She goes, what is going on? So she pulls over and she turns on the radio, and the space shuttle Challenger had blown up. And people were hearing this on the radio, and more people came on the radio, and they were hearing it, and all the cars started pulling over. And next thing you knew, everybody put their lights on, and everyone pulled back on the highway and started driving really slow, going to what they were going to do in their daily life with their lights on, as if they were in a funeral procession. And everybody's hearts at the same time were in this place of a shared grief, a shared sadness, a shared place where there was an energy of loss. And imagine feeling that when you're by yourself versus feeling that when all of a sudden now you're driving down and you see hundreds of cars around you slowing down with their lights on. What a difference to step into the movement of this awakened consciousness, this a movement of a new awakened energy about the movement of our culture, the movement of cultural ideas and cultural design when we do it together. And all of us have moments where there is like, do you remember when this or that happened? Some moment in our life where we remember some major event happening, and it just took us all to a place where we somehow felt all of a sudden so close to our neighbors, to our friends, to our culture, to our area, through a shared sadness or a shared grief. You all know one of those, right? So let's just take 1 minute. 1 minute. Turn to a neighbor or turn to a couple people and just take a moment and share and listen to each other. What was a moment in your life where you felt that sort of national or local or community trauma so much that you really felt into the air, the energy of a shared grief? Let's just take a minute and share with your neighbor some of that. Yeah. That came right to mind very quickly, didn't it? My guess is there might. Here. That wasn't meditation. That was come back to the room. Can I hear some of them that came up for you guys? Just popcorn a little bit. What are some of the major? That came up for multiple people. John Lennon, JFK, John Kennedy. Oh, Mount St. Helens. Yeah, I wasn't living here, but yeah, I bet in this area that was. Oh, yeah. 9/11. What else? Yeah, Martin Luther King, JFK, Robert Kennedy. Which one? Yeah, Bobby Kennedy. What else? Any that we haven't mentioned yet? Oh, Malcolm X. Yeah. Yeah, Martin Luther King. Yeah, a lot of, yeah. You know, there's a sense of these major events. And what's funny is, we just mentioned all these things, JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King. Those are like 40, 50 years old, right? And they were in the 60s. Malcolm X was in the 60s, and the Kennedys, and yeah. Well, it's interesting, though, that when you think about it, this movement in consciousness and one reason they stick with us is because they awakened us. And not just the sad part of it and the longing and the like, oh, something beautiful was happening, it was taken away, but it awoken something like a shared grief. Awakens something in our consciousness. It's like, and then we feel, in a sense, I went and told we were at Disneyland, and I was so nervous, I couldn't go we're going to go to the park, and so I turned on the little radio next to the bedside table. Remember, I used to have those little radio there? Yeah. And I heard about RFK being shot, and I went in and said, Mom, Kennedy got shot. She goes, oh, yeah, that was years ago. No, this morning, it happened this morning. Oh, man, I've never seen my mom so devastated in my life, this, and the whole day at the park. I mean, it was a great day at Disneyland, right? But still, there was this energy at Disneyland that was kind of like, we're having fun, but there's so consider this: how we're drawn together, how our consciousness and our lives in some very tangible ways awakened when we share sorrow and grief with each other, when we're open to each other in a place where we're sharing from our sorrow and grief, when we're willing to go into the wilderness sometimes where that may feel difficult because there is a lot of angst or sorrow or grief in another person, is it, well, let me stay back, or are we willing to move in with open hearts to be into that shared space with each other in our grief? And what a difference is that from fighting over politics, which doesn't connect, but sitting into shared grief. Okay, one other, actually, this is the other side of that coin. What about a time of so much joy? You're like, I didn't want that moment to ever end. I was with some other people, and we just had the most beautiful time. It was so incredible, and we did this thing together. And now, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, when I see those friends, we go right back to that moment, right back to that day, right back to that event, right back to that circumstance that happened. And we touch each other, and we get so full of joy because that moment just impacted us so much. And here's another way of going into the wilderness, being willing to go in and expose ourselves to just fullness of our hearts and our joyfulness. So take just a minute and share with another a time in your life when you were like amazed at how much joy you spent. It's something that changed your life, changed the trajectory of life, because it's just like, and it may not be a national event, it might just be something with a few people, it could be a larger crowd, but what's a moment of deep joy that you shared with other people that's just you remembered as if it was yesterday? And we'll just take a minute. Isn't it amazing how quick you can go right back to those moments? Who's got some they want to share? Something that, yeah. God, I've heard people over here say that too. That day Obama was elected and people were in the streets just weeping with joy, and like it was a breakthrough in consciousness. It changed everything, and it changed all of us. Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes, a day you see your child born, yeah. And it's just like, I want to share so many stories about that, yeah. It's almost go quiet with joy on that one. Yes, ma'am. The day you walked in unity. Actually, a lot of us have had that experience. The first day I came to unity, it was like, what is that? What just happened? What is going on? Yes. Your birthday party last night. Indeed. Yeah, couple more. Yeah, Shari. Oh, diving with the manta rays at night. Well, you know what I like? I didn't even go to that example. What I love about that example was it was not only a joyous event that included other people, and I'm sure you weren't diving alone, but it also was an inclusiveness of nature, of the beauty of this living world that we have. Yeah. How about one more? You know, when the Seahawks won, or whenever your favorite team won something, it's amazing. We spend so much time and energy and money and T-shirts and hats and everything to be part of a team. Why? for the sheer joy of like a bunch of us can get together and go, whoa! And then it's over, and it's like, wait till next season, and we do it again. We do it again, and we do it again. Yeah, George.
The day of the regeneration of Unity of Bellingham when you came back.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, we'll go with that one, too. Thank you, George. Yeah. I was telling Liz, I remembered sitting on a campfire with a bunch of great friends, and nobody wanted to go to their tent. We were just sitting there, and the campfire's crackling. It's dark. It's night. You got a blanket on, and I just don't end. This night just can't end, and the clock's going. It's like, and to this day, those friends are still some of my deepest, oldest friends. Bonded in what? In like the simple joy of just touching each other's hearts and going, I'm not alone. I'm part of something bigger. And so again, just when the sorrow comes, what is the glue that binds us? That we step in and are willing, because we could choose not to do any of that stuff. We can choose to ignore it. We can choose to be cynical. Oh, that's a great event. Oh, this person got elected, but they'll blow it. It never works. It's we can be cynical. We can be frightened. We can ignore it. Or we can go into the wilderness. Joy can be a wilderness event too. Can we be vulnerable and open to share our hearts in joy and share our hearts in pain and grief and share the whole spectrum of what it means to be human? Sometimes I think this spiritual movement, the stuff we do that we say we're growing spiritually, you could say that, but I love the sense where Jesus often said, I'm the Son of humanity. Other people called him the Son of God. He referred to himself as the Son of humanity, being fully human. The spiritual path, I brought this was an old gift and I brought it. We don't usually pull out crosses in uni very much. But the spiritual path, this path of our awakened consciousness and this movement to transcendence and this movement of opening to higher levels of awareness always comes when we deepen ourselves in the practical manifestation of our humanity. And this is a Celtic cross, which I love because it has this circle like, there's the sweet spot. There's a sweet spot. And we can get really caught up in, I'm so spiritual and I'm going to go, or we can get caught up in materialism and all that spiritual stuff is bunk. It's just, this is a physical world. And the sweet spot is right when we know the truth of our awakened consciousness and we know the fact that comes when we mix around with each other and in this world. And I'm going to end on this. This is from the book of Evolutionaries and one of the scientists that I really like reading. He said there's 3 big bangs. The first big bang is when, out of the seeming nothingness of being and the beauty of eternal substance, boom, there became a manifest world. Planets and hydrogen and particles and helium and the whole evolution of our cosmos as we know it. The second big bang is somehow, who even knows how this happened? There's all these atoms and molecules, and then they somehow formed together, and then something else happened. There was proteins, and all of a sudden, something was alive. Alive. It wasn't alive, then it was alive. Oh, it just happened. That's the second big bang. The third big bang is when human consciousness came on board and started expanding. And the reason this is so important is, and that's not like we're better than, because we're human, we're better than nature. And human consciousness can incorporate and love and bring into wholeness the whole, and we can be these loving presence to all of nature. It's not to say that there's something better about human consciousness, but it is unique. It is unique in its ability to expand and to connect and to evolve and grow in new ways. And if you think the Big Bang was powerful, and if you think life was powerful, then here's the thing. Human consciousness is powerful. And we can't act as if what we do has no consequences. What we do is so incredibly powerful. We are an evolutionary power on the planet. We're an evolutionary power. We look at the climate change planet. That's us. exerting our power and our mind and our intelligence and our imaginations. And we did some great things. We created civilization. We got engines. We reduced poverty. We grew. Oh, and we overshot a little bit. We threw a little too much carbon in the air. And now we have an issue, and we can resolve that because we are powerful. We are in Christed beings. We are the third Big Bang that showed up. And what is the answer? How do we contain that? How do we control it? We live in the wilderness of sharing our vulnerability, our joys, our pains, our reality, our lives with each other. Not standing apart on Twitter, throwing bombshells at other people and going, blah, blah, I hate you. Blah. Nobody finds their life changed by that nonsense. It's in the connection. It's in the love. It's in the lived lives with one another. This is the evolutionary, this is moving into the evolutionary power that changes the planet. We all know it. We just said, we get together, we have these shared griefs and joys, and they change our life. Let's find those. Let's live for those, right? Let's move into those, yeah. Yeah, the perception. Change your mind. It's a matter of how we're going to see it. We can change. We have control. Our minds, our beliefs, our feelings. We have control. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Amen.
Well, I'm going to ask you to step in the wilderness with me because in my centeredness of holy, 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 we forgot to greet each other. And also, I want to say we are a joyful, evolving community committed to spiritual practices, compassionate service, and living on purpose. So let's take a minute, though, to say hi to each other. Yeah, and be really present. Look each other in the eye, wave online. Okay. Thanks for stepping out with me. This is a time for our offering to practice our prosperity. And as we know that our abundance is our divine inheritance, giving our gift of love and appreciation, we always appreciate your generosity. In support of this ministry we're creating together, and this includes each of us in person and online. And you could text to give, which is at 360-519-5195. So as you take your offering to your heart, affirm quietly to yourself, I give freely and joyfully, for God is my source, and I have abundance in all areas of my life. And then join with me in saying our offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. Why walk in silence? Our heads held down when healing rays of sunshine are all around. Confronted by our maybes, we miss the truth. The healing power is inside. Just set it loose. I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm elated by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. Why walk alone? Why question why? We're part of a process, just like the tide. Regardless of stormy weather, we'll find out why. Walk in the knowing, embrace the sky. I am open to the universe. I engage with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm elated by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. I feel the lift. I feel the lift. I feel the lift. I feel it. Yes, I feel it. I feel the lift.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
We're feeling
so
the lift.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we bless these gifts with so much gratitude, God, so much gratitude. And we send them forward as a blessing to the ministry and the mission of Unity of Bellingham. And also they go forth to bless Unity services worldwide and the mission worldwide. And then as much as all, it's for peace on our planet. Amen. So a few announcements. The first one I already made, the activity today, I guess down at the Bellingham area, the depot, there's a huge event that goes to 4 o'clock. So I've never been to one here in Bellingham. I don't know if they had it last year. So anyhow, if you can get down there. Has anyone been there before? To thing? Anyone? Yeah, you've been. Mm-hmm. It's downtown in Bellingham at the depot. Oh, it's the Pride Festival from 12 to 5. They said bring money. There's artisan stuff. There's gifts. There's probably coffee. I'm sure there's good food too. So anyhow, check it out. I'd like to check it out. The other thing is I'm going to go in order of when things are happening. Well, after service today, the Earth Care group, we've been looking at our outer sanctuary, and some of us, I know I brought my clippers and some shoes, and we're trying to start finding a way to make a path down to our creek in the back. Did you know we have a creek back behind us? Yeah, it's hard to get there sometimes. It's a little overgrown. So our Earth Care group, slowly but surely, we're trying to find a nicer way to get down there. It's a more gentle trail, and maybe making a little cutout places where we can sit and just take a minute in Mother Nature and be blessed and create a few certain places. So anyhow, those in Earth Care who are ready, stay after for a while, and we're going to work on that today. Next is, next Saturday, and there's a list like this. It's on the bulletin board back here. But if you want to go help the trees live along Clipson Trail, up by your house, and it's on up on Barclay Avenue. We're going to go do tree and ivy clearing to save the trees. And it's going to be sort of a meditative ivy clearing. We're going to chime in and do a prayer, and every 15 minutes or so, while we clear trees, we're going to chime in and breathe. And it's just going to be sort of like a meditative, get rid of the ivy, save the trees. It's sponsored by Whatcom Million Trees Project. And so anyone wants to go, and it's my turn to lead the prayer and the meditation out there this next Saturday. So I'll be out there, 9 to noon. You can come for a half hour. You can come the whole time, whatever you want. So anyhow, more details are on the bulletin board. By the way, I found out on July 22nd, our friends over at Center for Spiritual Living are having their Health and Healing Fair. And so we are working on something similar, but a little different. But it'll be really fun to go see, kind of explore and support their project. It hasn't happened in a while, I think, from COVID. It happened earlier. So this is a regenerated health and healing fair. More detail, you can go online. You can look at Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham and get some details about it. And I'm sure they'd love to see Unity friends come by to their fair. So the first, starting the first Wednesday of August 2nd, is our Gospel of Luke class. And you can, no book to buy, because I think you probably have one. Bring your Bible, whatever edition you have. New Revised Standards, what I used. But I've got like 5 or 6 different kinds, and we explore many. So we'll have a sign-up list starting next week. But this is going to be fun, a very interactive, acted out, like having thieves in the night kind of way of looking at the gospel and exploring different ways and different tools and very ancient tools, Christian, Jewish, Islamic, other ways of scriptural interpretation that we can look at, as well as unity metaphysics to explore. And if you've never sat down and said, I've never actually sat down and read one of the Gospels A to Z, here's your chance. We're going to go through the Gospel of Luke, and oh man, it's going to be fun. So that'll be 7 weeks starting the first Sunday of August. And then, by the way, we're having our auction, and we got to get our name for it. Do we have a name yet for it? It's our auction party, music, dance, hang out, have fun, bring friends thing. We'll find a name for it. And we've got lots of auction items already, but we want to let you know that if you have anything like something you want to donate to the auction, anything from a jade hunt to any kind of adventure or any kind of activity you'd like to offer, an art activity, something, you know how these things go, or even I'd be willing to come and clean your house, make a bid. We'll be the first ones on that list. Yeah, just anything like that. Then we need them by the end of the month because we need to start setting this all up next month in August. So that's going to be fun. Our chaplain today is Helga. If you haven't been to chaplain, if you're newer and don't know about the chaplains in the room that says love spoken here, feel free to stop in, even for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Ask for a prayer, ask for a blessing. Just, anything that's on your heart, you want to just have another special moment of prayer, please feel free to go get a powerful blessing in a prayer with Helga. And finally, the last thing, because, again, I forgot it last week. What month is this? July. Who had a birthday in July? This is July birthday blessing. All the July birthdays, can you come up here? Yeah, come on up. Enid's here. Woo! Oh, wow, the Julys. Yeah, man. Let's go up. Could you guys step up? Is that okay to step up on this so people can see you? One step up. Can you have your hand up? Okay. 2 choruses, yeah. Happy birthday and a blessing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you are wonderful. God is blessing you now.
Hi, Deborah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Prayer for protection, everyone
Should
together?
we sing another song?
Oh.
Yeah. Or not?
Oh, yes, sure.
Well, this is our best one.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's stand and sing, put a little
Yeah.
love in your heart, and prepare to dance.
It's in your
It's in your bulletin.
bulletin. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Woo! Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. We want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. Sing it. And the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait.
You just wait
and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. I hope that you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart. Sing it now. And the world will be a better place. Yes, the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Woo! Put a little love in your heart. 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 Thank you, Kate. Thank you for helping today. Beautiful.
Okay, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The presence of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So let's round up in a circle, and we'll sing I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present is what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present is what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one I choose.